Hello, my dear friends. Welcome to English in Fluency. I am Alex, and I am so grateful that you have chosen to spend your time with us today. Before we begin our lesson, I want to ask you a personal question. Think about the last time you made a mistake when you were speaking English. Maybe you were in a meeting with important people, and you used the wrong word. Or maybe you were ordering coffee, and the barista did not understand what you said. How did you feel in that exact moment? Did your face feel hot? Did your stomach feel strange? Did you suddenly feel very small and maybe a little bit stupid? Did you want to just stop talking? I think every single person learning a language knows this feeling. It is a terrible feeling. We study so hard. We learn vocabulary lists. We practice grammar rules. We listen to podcasts, just like this one. We do all this work. And then, in 1 second, one small error, all of our confidence disappears. We feel like a failure. We think to ourselves, "Oh no, everyone heard that everyone thinks my English is bad. I will never be fluent." This voice in our head, it is very loud. And this voice, this fear of mistakes, is the number one thing that stops people from becoming fluent. We become afraid to speak. We become afraid to try. We only use the simple words we know are safe. We stop taking risks. And when we stop taking risks, we stop learning. But what if I told you that this entire way of thinking is wrong? What if I told you that your mistakes are not your enemies? What if I told you that your mistakes are actually your greatest friends, your best teachers, your secret strength? This might sound crazy, I know, but today, we are going to change your relationship with errors. We are going to learn how to make your mistakes work for you. This is a B1 English listening practice, yes, but it is much more than that. It is a lesson in how to learn, how to build confidence, and how to turn your biggest weaknesses into your greatest strengths. Today, we are going to listen to a story. It is a story about a woman named Maya. Maya is smart. She is ambitious. She is very good at her job. But Maya makes a mistake. Not a small mistake. She makes a huge, terrible, "Oh no, this cannot be real," kind of mistake. It is the kind of mistake that makes your stomach hurt, just to hear about it. We are going to listen to her story together. As we listen, I will pause the story from time to time. We will stop, and we will talk about what is happening. We will look at the language, the vocabulary, the grammar. But we will also talk about the feelings, the panic, the shame, the fear. And then we will practice. We will do listening exercises, and we will do speaking exercises. Right here, you and me. We will practice how to understand what people really mean, and we will practice how to talk about our own mistakes in a clear, confident, and professional way. Our goal today is not just to listen to a story. Our goal is to learn from Maya's mistake, so that you do not have to learn the hard way. By the end of this lesson, I want you to see your next English mistake in a completely new light. I want you to hear yourself make an error. And instead of feeling panic, I want you to feel opportunity. I want you to think, data. Information. This is my next step. So, I want you to get comfortable. Take a deep breath. You do not need a pen or paper, unless you want one. The most important thing is to listen. Listen to the story. Listen to my voice. And listen to that little voice inside your own head. Because today, we are going to teach that little voice to be your partner, not your critic. Are you ready? Let's begin. Our story starts on a Wednesday morning. It was a bright, sunny day. But Maya did not notice. She was sitting at her desk in a big, open office. The office was busy, but it was a quiet kind of busy. You could hear the gentle click, click, click of dozens of keyboards, like soft rain on a window. You could hear the low hum of the servers and the air conditioning. Maya was a project manager for a software company. She loved her job, and she was excellent at it. She was organized, she was creative, and she was ambitious. Today was, perhaps, the most important day of her career so far. For 3 weeks, Maya had been working non-stop on a massive proposal for a new client. The client was called Apex Solutions. They were a huge, international company. Getting this contract would be a massive win for Maya's company. It would mean more jobs, more money, and a lot of prestige. Maya's boss, Mr. Reed, had given her the responsibility of leading this proposal. This was her chance. Her chance to prove that she was ready for a promotion. Ready for more responsibility. She had stayed at the office until 11 p.m. the night before, checking every detail, every slide, every number in the budget. It was perfect. She saved the file. The file name was Apex Proposal Final V 4.pptx. She smiled as she looked at the file name. Final version 4. It was perfect. She was proud. Her colleague and friend, Leo, walked past her desk holding 2 cups of coffee. Leo was always relaxed, always making jokes. He saw Maya smiling at her computer screen. "You look like you just won the lottery," Leo said, handing her one of the cups. "What's going on?" Maya took the coffee. "Thank you, Leo. You're a lifesaver. And no, not the lottery. Even better. I just finally finished, the Apex Solutions proposal. It's done. It's perfect. I'm about to email it to Mr. Reed and the team at Apex for their review, before our big video call this afternoon." "Ah, the Apex proposal," Leo said, leaning against her desk. He put on a very serious, deep voice. "The entire future of our company rests on your shoulders. Maya, no pressure, right?" He grinned. "I'm sure it's amazing. You always do incredible work. Just do me one favor. Make sure you attach the right file." Maya rolled her eyes. "Ha ha, very funny. What do you mean?" "I just remember," Leo said, laughing. "That time you accidentally sent me your weekly grocery list instead of the quarterly report. I was very confused about why we needed 5 avocados for our sales projection." Maya laughed. "That was one time, and you know I cannot live without my avocados. Don't worry. I will be very careful. Okay, I'm sending it right now. Wish me luck." "Good luck," Leo said, walking away. "Just don't accidentally send them that other file, the silly one." Maya smiled and shook her head. She opened a new email. She carefully typed in the email address for her boss, Mr. Reed. Then, she typed in the 3 email addresses for the senior managers at Apex Solutions. These were very important, very serious people. She wrote a polite, professional message. "Dear Mr. Reed and the Apex Solutions team, please find the final proposal attached for our meeting this afternoon at 2 p.m. We are all very excited to share our innovative solutions with you. Best regards, Maya." Okay. The email was written. Now, the attachment. She clicked the little paperclip button. Her file folder opened up. She saw her Apex project folder. It was full of files. Apex_budget_draft. Apex team notes. And then she saw the 2 presentation files right next to each other. Apex proposal, final vi 4.pptx, and right below it, Apex Draft Silly Ideas by the 1.pptex. This was the file Leo was joking about. 2 weeks ago, Maya and Leo had been working late. They were tired and feeling silly. They had made a joke version of the proposal. It was ridiculous. On the cover slide, they had used a funny picture of a cat wearing a tie. On the budget slide, Maya had written budget $1 million or maybe just free pizza. On the Our Team slide, they had put funny old photos of their co-workers. It was a stupid private joke, something to make them laugh. It was never, ever, ever meant to be seen by anyone else. It was hidden in the project folder. Maya's finger was on the mouse. She was thinking about the meeting at 2 p.m. She was thinking about what she would say. She was thinking about the coffee Leo had just given her. She was distracted. She was confident. She was too confident. She clicked the file. She clicked Attach. The little blue bar loaded. The file was attached. She quickly looked at the email one last time. The attachment name looked right. Apex. She didn't read the whole thing. She was in a hurry. She wanted to enjoy her coffee. She clicked Send. The email vanished. It was gone. Into the world. Maya leaned back in her chair. She took a deep, deep breath. Done. Finished. All that work. All that stress. It was done. She felt a huge wave of relief wash over her. She picked up her coffee cup and decided to take a short walk, just to clear her head before the meeting. She stood up from her chair. As she stood up, her brain, like a slow-motion video, replayed the last 10 seconds, the file folder, the two file names, apex_proposal_final_v4.pptx, apex_draft_silly ideas_v1.pptx. Which one? Which one did she click? A cold, sick feeling started in her stomach. It felt like the floor had just dropped away beneath her. No, no, she wouldn't. She couldn't be that stupid. It wasn't possible. She fell back into her chair. Her hands were suddenly shaking. She couldn't breathe. She clicked on her Sent Items folder. Her computer seemed to move in slow motion. The email folder opened. There it was. The email she had just sent. To her boss. And to the most important client of the year. She looked at the attachment. Her heart stopped. It felt like it actually stopped. The file name was Apex Draft Silly Ideas V 1.pptx. The joke file. The file with the cat in the tie. The file that said free pizza on the budget slide. She had sent it. It was gone. For a full 30 seconds. Maya did not move. She did not breathe. She just stared at the screen. She had just made the biggest mistake of her entire life. Okay, let's pause. Let's pause right here and just breathe. How are you feeling right now? A little sick? Anxious? This feeling, this is the mistake feeling. I used some phrases to describe it. I said, a cold, sick feeling started in her stomach. I said, it felt like the floor had just dropped away. These are idioms, expressions we use to describe that feeling of pure, sudden panic. When you realize, oh, no, let's look at the language here. This is a very, very common mistake. The files had similar names. This is important. Maya is not a bad person. She is not a stupid person. She was just distracted. She was moving too fast. She was confident. And this is when mistakes happen. They are not big, dramatic failures. They are small, tiny moments of not paying attention. Now, let's think about the grammar of this moment. When Maya looked at her sent folder, she realized She had sent the wrong file. This is the past perfect tense, had, plus the past participle, sent. We use the past perfect, had sent, to talk about an action that happened before another action in the past. It sounds complicated, but it is simple. Look, we have two actions in the past. Action 1. She sent the email. This happened first. Action 2. She realized her mistake. This happened second. So, when she is at Action 2, realizing, she looks back at Action 1, sending. That Action 1 is now in the deep past. She thinks, I had sent the file. It is finished. It is done. She cannot change it. This is why the past perfect tense is so often connected to feelings of regret. You are talking about a past action that you cannot undo. Let's practice this. I want you to think about a small mistake you made. For example, you arrived at the train station, and then you realized you forgot your ticket. Which happened first? Forgetting the ticket. Which happened second? Realizing it. So, you would say, I got to the station, and I realized I had forgotten my ticket. Let's try another one. You finished a test, and then you realized you misunderstood a question. You would say, after I finished the test, I realized I had misunderstood the question. This grammar is perfect for talking about mistakes because it clearly separates the mistake, the first past action, from the realization, the second past action. But what about Maya's feeling? Panic, dread. These are strong words. Panic is a sudden, overwhelming fear that makes you unable to think. Dread is a deep, strong fear about something bad that is going to happen. Maya is feeling both. She is in panic right now, and she is feeling dread. Dread about what happens next. What will Mr. Reed say? What will the client think? Will she lose her job? All of these questions are spinning in her head so fast that she is frozen. This is the second error. First, there is the action error, sending the email. Second, there is the thinking error, the panic, the end of the world thoughts. Our brain tells us, this is a catastrophe, you are finished. Everything is ruined. This is the part we can learn to control. Maya made a mistake, a big one. But the real story, the important part, is not the mistake. It is what she does next. The real challenge is not the email. The real challenge is managing the panic. How can she turn this disaster into a strength? Right now, it seems impossible. She is frozen at her desk, just staring. Let's go back to the story. Maya sat there, frozen. The sounds of the office, the click, click, click of the keyboards, the hum of the air. It all faded away. All she could hear was a loud, rushing sound in her ears. What have I done? What have I done? Her first thought, her first instinct, was to hide. Maybe they won't open it. Maybe it will go to their spam folder. These were desperate, silly thoughts. She knew they would open it. They were waiting for it. Her desk phone, the one on her desk, started to ring. It was not her mobile. It was the internal office phone. The sound was so loud, it made her jump. It sounded like an alarm, a fire alarm. She looked at the little screen on the phone. It showed the name of the person calling. The name was Mr. Reed, her boss. Her heart didn't just sink. It felt like it fell out of her body. He had seen it. Of course. He was the first person on the email he had seen the cat. He had seen the free pizza budget. Her hand was shaking so much, she could barely pick up the receiver. She fumbled, and finally picked it up. Hello? Her voice was a tiny, squeaky sound. She did not recognize her own voice. Maya. Mr. Reed's voice was not loud. He was not shouting. That was worse. His voice was very, very quiet, very low, and very, very cold, like ice. He did not say, "Hi, how are you?" He said, "Come to my office, now." Click. He hung up. The click of the phone sounded like a judge's gavel, like a door slamming shut. Doom, that one word. Doom. Maya stood up. Her legs felt strange, like they were made of jelly or cotton. They did not feel strong. She felt like everyone in the entire office was staring at her. Were they? She didn't know. She couldn't look. She looked over at Leo's desk. He was watching her. He had a confused, worried look on his face. He knew something was wrong. Maya just gave a tiny, tiny shake of her head. She couldn't look him in the eye. She turned and began the walk to Mr. Reed's office. It was at the other end of the floor. It was maybe 30 steps, but it felt like walking a mile through deep, wet sand. Every step was heavy, and with every single step, the negative voice in her head got louder and louder. "You are so stupid. How could you do that? You've ruined everything. He is going to fire you. You are going to be fired, and you deserve it. You're a failure. A complete, total failure. This is what we do, isn't it? We make one mistake. And suddenly, it is not that we did something stupid. It is that we are stupid. We are a failure. This, right here, is the most dangerous part of making a mistake. It is not the mistake itself. It is the story we tell ourselves about the mistake. Maya is telling herself a story right now, and it is a story where she is the villain, and the ending is terrible. She is practicing failure. Let's pause again. This is a very important moment for our B1 listening practice. I want you to listen very carefully to what happened, but also to what did not happen. Mr. Reed called. What did he say? He said, "Maya, come to my office, now." 4 words. That is all. His tone was cold. His tone was serious. But what did he not say? Did he say, "You are fired"? No. Did he say, "You are the worst employee I have ever had"? No. Did he say, "You have ruined this company"? No. He said, "Come to my office." But what did Maya hear? Maya heard, "You are fired. You are a failure. This is the end." Her fear, her panic, it acted like a translator. It translated his simple, serious words into a catastrophe. This is a massive, massive listening error. It is one of the biggest problems in communication. We do not hear what people say. We hear what we fear they mean. We are not listening to the words. We are listening to our own anxiety. So, let's practice this. This is a practice of reframing. Reframing means changing the way you see something. You change the frame of the picture. Maya is looking at this situation through a frame called, "I am a total failure." Let's change the frame. Let's use a frame called, "What are the facts?" What are the facts? Fact 1. Maya sent the wrong email. This is true. Fact 2. The email was very unprofessional and embarrassing. This is true. Fact 3. Her boss, Mr. Reed, is serious and wants to talk. This is true. These are the facts. Now, what are Maya's thoughts? Her listening errors. Thought 1. I am going to be fired. This is a prediction. It is not a fact. She does not know this. Thought 2. I have ruined everything. This is an exaggeration. It is very bad. But is everything ruined? Probably not. Thought 3. I am a failure. This is a label. It is not a fact. She is a person who made a mistake. She is not a mistake. This is the skill. This is the B1, B2, C1. This is the life skill. When you make a mistake in English, let's say you are in a meeting, and you want to say, I have a proposal, but you are nervous, and you say, I have a preposition. This is a B1 error. Proposal, preposition, they sound similar. You feel your face get hot. Your panic thought, the error, is, oh no, I said preposition. That's a grammar word. They all think I am an idiot. They think my English is terrible. I should just be quiet. I will not speak again. This thought, this panic, makes you hide. Let's practice reframing that. Right now. What are the facts? Fact 1. I used the word preposition instead of proposal. Fact 2. They are similar sounding words. Fact 3. I felt embarrassed. These are the facts. Now, what is a better thought? A data thought? A strength thought? Okay. My brain just gave me the wrong P word. I noticed it immediately. That's good. My English is good enough to know I made a mistake. That's progress. I will just correct myself. It is not a big deal. They know I am a professional. They are not judging my whole career on one word. Can you feel the difference? The panic thought makes you want to disappear. The data, thought, the strength thought, allows you to take a breath, correct yourself, and continue. You can say, sorry, I have a proposal, and you just move on. This is how you make errors your strength. You stop treating them as judgments on your character. You start treating them as data, as information. Your English mistake is just a piece of data that says, pay attention here. This is the next thing you need to practice. It is not a red stop sign. It is a little yellow signpost, pointing the way to fluency. Maya is not seeing this. Not yet. She is walking to Mr. Reed's office, and she is inside a dark cloud of panic. She is using the end of the world frame. She thinks this is the end of her story. But what she does not know is that this is actually the middle of her story. This is the turning point. Let's go back to Maya. She reaches the door to Mr. Reed's office. It is a big, dark wood door, and it is open. He is sitting at his desk. He is not looking at his computer. He is looking at the door. He is waiting for her. Mr. Reed is usually a kind man. He is older, with gray hair, and he is always very calm and professional. But today, his face is not calm. It is disappointed. And for Maya, that felt even worse than anger. Anger is hot and fast. Disappointment is heavy. Sit down, Maya, he said. His voice was still quiet, still cold. Maya sat in the chair in front of his desk. She felt like she was in a different room, like she was very far away. She sat on the very, very edge of the chair. She could not look him in the eye. She just stared at her own hands, which were twisting together in her lap. She felt like a 5-year-old child who had just drawn on the wall with a permanent marker. There was a long, terrible silence. It was probably only 10 seconds, but it felt like 10 minutes. Maya's heart was beating so hard. Thump, thump, thump. She was sure he could hear it. Just say it, she thought. Just fire me. Please, let's get this over with. Finally, Mr. Reed spoke. I received your email. Maya flinched, like she had been hit. Mr. Reed, I don't know what to say. I am so sorry. It was a mistake. A terrible, stupid mistake. Her voice was shaking, and she could feel hot tears starting in her eyes. Oh no, she was not going to cry. That would make it even worse. He held up one hand. a stop gesture. Maya, I know it was a mistake. I know you did not intend to send the Apex Solutions team a proposal that features a cat in a tie and a budget that says, maybe free pizza? He said it with zero humor. He was quoting her file. He had read it. Maya's face burned with shame. It was so hot. It was a joke. An old file. From weeks ago. I wasn't paying attention. I was in a hurry. I clicked the wrong one. I am so sorry. I know you are sorry, Mr. Reed said. He leaned forward in his chair. This is a very serious situation. We look unprofessional. We look like children. The Apex team. These are not people who appreciate jokes like this. This could easily cost us the entire contract. You understand that? Don't you? Yes, Maya whispered. She felt so small, like she could shrink and disappear under the chair. I understand. I will. I will go pack my desk. She looked up at him. Finally. And the tears were now in her eyes, and one rolled down her cheek. She angrily wiped it away. I understand if you want me to leave. I'm fired. I get it. Mr. Reed looked at her. He just looked. He did not say anything. He just watched her. Maya held her breath. The silence was awful. She was waiting for him to say, Yes, you're fired. Get out. Then he sighed. A long, slow sigh. He leaned back in his chair, and the chair made a small creak sound. It was the only sound in the room. Pack your desk? He said. His voice was a little softer now. Just a little. Maya, why on earth would you pack your desk? Maya was completely confused. What? Because I failed. I made the biggest mistake of my career. I lost us the client. Yes, you made a mistake, Mr. Reed said, nodding. A very, very big one. And you might have lost us the client. We do not know that yet, but the mistake is not the issue. Maya just stared. What did he mean? The mistake was the only issue. The issue, Maya, he continued, is what you do next. The mistake is done. It is in the past. We cannot change it. You had sent the file before you realized it. That part of the new, terrible story is over. I am not interested in what happened 10 minutes ago. I am interested in what is going to happen in the next 10 minutes. Right now, you are sitting in that chair, crying, and telling me you are a failure, and you are going to pack your desk. That is not a solution. That is giving up. Is that what you want to do? Do you want to give up? This was not the conversation Maya expected. She expected yelling. She expected, "You're fired." She did not expect a challenge. No, she said. Her voice was still shaky, but the tears stopped. No, I don't want to give up. Good, Mr. Reed said. He leaned forward again. Because I'm sorry is not enough, and I'm a failure is not helpful. What is helpful, Maya? What is the solution? You are a project manager. Your job is to solve problems. Well, we have a problem. A big one. The project is, we just embarrassed ourselves in front of our biggest potential client. Now, what is the plan? How do we fix this? And just like that, the entire feeling in the room changed. Mr. Reed had not fired her. He had not yelled at her. He had done something much, much more powerful. He had asked her for a solution. He was treating her like a professional, not like a child. He was giving her a chance to fix it. Maya's brain, which had been frozen in panic, started to thaw. It started to work again. The panic started to fade. And a new feeling came in. It was still fear, but it was a different kind of fear. It was the fear of a big challenge, not the fear of doom. A plan. He wanted a plan. Okay, she said. She sat up straighter in the chair. She took a deep breath. It was a shaky breath, but it was a real breath. Okay, a plan. She looked Mr. Reed in the eye. First, I need to contact the client. Right now. I need to apologize. Good, Mr. Reed said, nodding. That's step one. What do you say? I say, I apologize. I say it was a terrible mistake. I explain that it was a draft, a stupid joke file, and that I sent it by accident. And I attach the correct file, the final V4 file, and I say sorry again. A lot. That's a start, Mr. Reed said, but it's weak. It's all about you. I'm sorry. I made a mistake. It was a joke. It's just sorry again. It's begging. We don't beg, Maya. We solve. How do we make this a strength? How do we use this? Think like a manager. Think like a marketer. Elena closed her eyes for just a second. Think like a marketer. What did that mean? It meant turning a negative into a positive. Okay, she said, opening her eyes. Okay, I will be honest. I will call it what it is. A human error. I will send an email. I will start by saying, this morning, in my haste to get you our proposal, I made a significant human error. I accidentally attached an internal draft file instead of the final version. I will apologize. I sincerely apologize for this mistake and for the unprofessionalism. Then, I will attach the correct file, but I will say, while this is embarrassing, I believe in complete honesty and transparency with our partners. And I will pivot. I will focus on the future. I will say, the attached final presentation is the one we are truly proud of, and the one we are excited to discuss with you at 2 p.m. I will reconfirm the meeting. I will show we are still confident. I will say, my sincere apologies again for the confusion, and I look forward to showing you what our real, focused, professional work looks like. She finished. She was breathing hard, but she felt solid. Mr. Reed was quiet for a long moment. He looked at her. Then, a very, very small, tiny smile appeared on his face. That's better, he said. That is much better. It's honest. It's confident. It does not make excuses. It owns the mistake. It states the solution. And it pivots to the future. It's professional. He pointed to the door. Go. Go back to your desk. Write that email, Maya, now, from your email address. But I want you to copy me on it. But, Maya said, shouldn't it come from you? You're the boss. It seems more official. No, Mr. Reed said firmly. Absolutely not. You made the mistake. You fix it. They need to see that you are responsible, that we as a company are responsible, and that we don't hide. This is not about hiding. This is about ownership. This is how you build trust. Maya, listen to me. Sometimes, you build more trust by fixing a mistake well than you do by never making a mistake at all. This is an opportunity. Don't waste it. Maya stood up. She felt completely different. She was still scared. She was still deeply embarrassed. But she was not panicked. She had a plan. She had a task. Thank you, Mr. Reed, she said. Don't thank me yet, he said, his voice serious again. Go and fix it. And Maya? She turned at the door. Yes? From now on, check your attachments. Check them twice. Check them 3 times. Every single time. Yes, sir, she said. I will. And she walked out of his office. Not feeling like a failure who was going to be fired, she felt like a professional, with a very, very important job to do. Okay, let's stop. This This is the most important part of our entire lesson today. This is the moment. This is make English errors your strength. This is it. What happened in that office? Maya's mistake was a fact. It was real. But Mr. Reed, her boss, he was a great mentor. He was a great teacher. He did something amazing. He reframed the problem. Maya's frame was, I made a mistake. I am a failure. I must be punished. I am fired. Mr. Reed's frame was, a mistake was made. This is a problem. Problems require solutions. You are a problem solver. Go solve it. He changed her, in her own mind, from a victim of her mistake to the owner of the solution. This is what we must do with our English mistakes. When you make a grammar mistake, when you say, he go to the store, you are not a bad student. You are not stupid. You are a person who has just discovered a gap in your knowledge. You have identified a problem. The problem is third person's verb agreement. That is the problem. What is the solution? The solution is to find the rule and practice it. He goes, she goes, it goes. The mistake is not a punishment. It is an assignment. It is your teacher. The mistake, giving you your homework, and it is the best homework possible, because it is perfectly 100% personalized for you. Let's do some serious speaking practice. We need to learn how to talk about mistakes, like Mr. Reed taught Maya to. We need to practice owning the mistake, stating the solution, and focusing on the future. This is a very, very high-level professional skill, not just in English, but in life. Let's call this the own, solve, future model. Own. Be clear, honest, and direct. Acknowledge the mistake. Do not make excuses. Solve. State what you are doing, or have done, to fix the problem right now. Future. Explain what you will do to prevent it from happening again, or how you will move forward. Let's practice this. I will give you a situation. I want you to pause and try to say the answer out loud, using this model. Then, I will give you a good example. Ready? Situation 1. You are 10 minutes late for an important meeting with your team. The panic response, the Maya before Mr. Reed response is, oh my God, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. The traffic was terrible. My alarm clock didn't go off. I'm so sorry. Sorry. This is weak. It is full of excuses. It is just sorry over and over. It makes you sound unreliable. The strong response, the own, solve, future response, is, I sincerely apologize for being late. 1. I see you have already started. I will get the notes for the first 10 minutes from Leo after the meeting. So I am fully updated. 2. Solve. It will not happen again. 3. Future. Please, continue. Do you feel the difference? It is so strong, it is clear. It is professional. It shows responsibility. Situation 2. Your colleague asked you to send the sales report, but you misunderstood, and you sent the marketing report. The panic response is, oh, I thought you meant, I'm so sorry. I guess I just read the email too fast. I'm so stupid. I'll send the other one. I'm sorry. This is weak. It is full of self-blame. I'm so stupid, which is not helpful. The strong response is, I see that I misunderstood your request. I sent the marketing report, but you needed the sales report. 1. Own. I am pulling the sales report right now, and I will have it in your inbox in the next 5 minutes. 2. Solve. In the future, I will make sure to double-check the details if I am not 100% sure. 3. Future. This is amazing. It's not just sorry. It's, here is the new plan. It is confidence. It builds trust, even though you made a mistake. Situation 3. This is our special B1 English learner situation. You are in a conversation, and you use the wrong word. You say, I have to do my homework, but you mean, I have to make my homework. And someone, a native speaker, corrects you. They say, oh, you mean, do homework. The panic response is, your face gets hot. You get quiet. You stop talking. You think, I am so bad at English. I can't even use make and do. I am stupid. I will just be quiet. The mistake wins. The conversation stops. The strong response is, you take a breath. You look at the person. You smile. Oh, thank you. 1. Own. You accept a correction. You own the mistake. Do homework, not make homework. Got it. I always get those mixed up. 2. Solve. The solution is learning. You are showing you are learning. I will remember that. 3. Future. Anyway, as I was saying, I have to do my homework for my English class. This is the strength you make. The correction a part of the conversation. You do not let it stop the conversation. You used the data. The person gave you data, you said, thank you for the data. And you moved on. You made the error disappear by absorbing it. You made it your strength. I want you to practice this. This week, I challenge you. I want you to listen for your own mistakes. When you hear yourself make one, do not say, oh no. I want you to say, ah, data. And then, in your head, or even out loud, practice the own, solve, future model. Mistake, own. I just said, I'm interested on history. That's wrong. Solution, solve. The correct preposition is interested in. I need to remember that. Future, future. I will practice this. I am interested in sports. I am interested in music. I am interested in English. This is it. This is how you turn errors into strength. You make them your personal, private, study guide. You make them your teacher. Mr. Reed was a good boss because he did not punish Maya. He taught her. He gave her the own, solve, future model. He said, the mistake is not the issue. The solution is the issue. This is the key. Now, let's finish the story. What happened to Maya? Maya walked back to her desk. She felt like she was in a bubble. The office sounds were still there, the click, click, click. But she was completely 100% focused. She sat down. Leo looked over. His face was a giant question mark. Maya just put up one finger, which meant, wait, give me 1 minute. She opened her email. She opened a new message. She typed in the 3 addresses for the Apex Solutions managers. She copied Mr. Reed. Her hands were still shaking a little, but her mind was clear. She took a deep breath. And she wrote the email, the one she had practiced with Mr. Reed. Dear Ms. Evans and the Apex Solutions team, this morning, in my haste to get you our proposal, I made a significant human error. I accidentally attached an internal draft file instead of the final version. This was my mistake, and I sincerely apologize for the confusion and the unprofessionalism. Please find the correct final proposal attached to this email. This is the presentation we are truly proud of, and the one we are very excited to discuss with you. While this is embarrassing, I believe in complete honesty and transparency with our partners. I look forward to meeting with you at 2 p.m. today, as planned, and to showing you what our real, focused, and professional work looks like. My sincere apologies again for the mix-up. Best regards, Maya Martin, Project Manager. She reread the email. Once, twice, 3 times. It was honest, it was direct. It owned the mistake. It stated the solution, the new file, and it focused on the future, the 2 p.m. meeting. It was exactly perfect. Then, she moved her mouse to the attachment button. She clicked it. She found the file. Apex Proposal Final V 4.pptx. She checked the name, she clicked it, and it opened on her screen. She checked the slides. Yes, the real slides. No cats, no pizza. Professional. She closed it. She attached it. She watched the blue bar upload. It was attached. She checked the file name again. Apex_proposal_final_vi4.pptx. Correct. She put her finger on the mouse, over the send button. She paused. She took one, last, deep breath. And she clicked send. It was done. Again. But this time, it was different. This time, she was not relieved. She was resolved. She had done everything she could do. The panic was gone. Now, it was just waiting. She looked over at Leo. He immediately got up and came to her desk. He was trying to whisper, "Maya, what is happening? You looked like you saw a ghost. And then you were in Reed's office for ages. He looked furious. What happened? Are you okay?" Maya looked at her friend. She suddenly felt so tired. She explained. She told him about the file names. She told him she had sent the silly file. Leo's eyes got very, very wide. His mouth fell open. "No," he whispered. You didn't. Not the one. Not the one with the picture of the cat CEO? And the free pizza budget?" Maya nodded. "That's the one." "Oh, Maya," Leo said. He didn't laugh. He looked horrified for her. "Oh, no. What did Reed say? Are you fired?" "He didn't fire me," Maya said. And she told him the rest of the conversation. She told him about Mr. Reed's challenge. She told him about the solution part. She told him about the email, the own solve future email she had just sent. Leo listened to the whole thing, his eyes getting wider. When she finished, he was quiet for a moment. Then he said, "Wow, that is the worst mistake ever. But, wow, Mr. Reed is a very smart boss. And you, that email, Maya, that was brave. That was really brave." "I don't feel brave," Maya said, putting her head in her hands for just a second. "I feel sick. What if they canceled a 2 p.m. meeting? What if they just laugh at us and hire someone else?" "They might," Leo said. He was an honest friend. "They might, or they might be impressed. Like Mr. Reed said, you didn't hide, you didn't make excuses, you owned it. That's pretty rare. Most people would just call in sick and hide under their bed." He paused. "But this means one thing. You have—" He looked at his watch. "You have 2.5 hours. Until that meeting, you cannot just be good in that meeting, Maya. You have to be perfect. You have to be the best you have ever been." He was right. The email was just step 1. The meeting was step 2. The real fix was to give the best presentation of her life. The mistake had raised the stakes. It was not enough to be okay anymore. She had to prove that the silly file was a random accident, and that the final file was the real Maya. So, for the next 2.5 hours, Maya and Leo worked. They went into an empty conference room. Leo pretended to be the client, Ms. Evans. He was very serious. He asked her hard, difficult questions. He interrupted her. "This slide is confusing, Ms. Martin. Explain it better. Why is your budget 10% higher than your competitor?" He made her practice her introduction, over and over. "No," he said. "Start again. More confidence. You are not the person who sent the joke file. You are the person who has the only solution to their problems. Say it like you believe it. At first, Maya's voice was weak. She was shaken. But with each practice, she got stronger. She knew this proposal. She knew her ideas were good. The mistake had shaken her confidence in herself, but it had not shaken her confidence in the work. And as she practiced, her confidence in herself slowly came back. She was not a failure. She was a professional who had made a mistake, and now she was a professional who was going to fix it. Finally, it was 2 p.m. Maya and Mr. Reed were sitting in the big main conference room. The large video screen on the wall lit up. The Apex Solutions team appeared. 3 people, 2 men, and 1 woman in the center. Ms. Evans. They all looked very, very serious. No smiles. Maya's heart was pounding. Thump, thump, thump. But she kept her face calm, professional, and she looked right into the camera. Mr. Reed started the meeting. Good afternoon, Ms. Evans, gentlemen. Thank you for joining us today. He then turned and looked at Maya. It was her turn. Maya took a breath. Thank you, everyone. Before we begin the presentation, I want to personally apologize again, one more time, for the email I sent in error this morning. That was my mistake, and I am very grateful for your understanding and for your time today. The senior manager on the screen, Ms. Evans, looked at her. Her expression did not change. We received your second email, Ms. Martin. It was memorable. Let's just say, we are all very interested to see the real proposal. Her voice was not friendly, but it was not angry either. It was neutral. Cold. Then let's begin, Maya said. And she did. She started her presentation. And because she had practiced so much, because she had so much adrenaline in her body, because she needed this to be good, it wasn't just good. It was brilliant. She was clear. She was confident. She was passionate. She knew every word, every number. She didn't just read the slides. She told a story. She explained why her solution was the only solution. She answered their questions before they even had a chance to ask them when she finished. 45 minutes later, there was a silence. Maya's heart was in her throat. Then Ms. Evans, on the screen, spoke. That, she said, was very impressive. She paused. Much, much better than the cat CEO. And, she smiled, a real, small smile. Although, I will be honest, maybe free pizza did make our finance director laugh. After he had a small heart attack. Maya couldn't help it. She let out a small laugh. A real laugh. Of pure relief. The ice. It was broken. The rest of the meeting was amazing. They loved the ideas. They loved her team's solutions. They asked smart questions. And Maya had smart answers. Mr. Reed talked about the contract details. By the time the meeting ended an hour later, it was clear. They were going to get the contract. When the video screen went black, Maya and Mr. Reed sat in the silent room for a moment. Maya felt completely and totally drained, like she had run a marathon. Mr. Reed turned to her in his chair. Well, Maya, he said. He was not smiling, but his eyes were. That was a recovery. A very, very strong recovery. Thank you, sir, Maya said. I'm just so glad and so sorry about. He held up his hand again. You see, he said, the mistake. It was bad. Let's be honest. It was terrible. But in the end, it made you better. It made you prepare harder. It made you focus more. It forced you to show them how professional you are, not just when things are easy. But when things are hard, that is what they will remember. They will not remember the joke file. Not really. They will remember the recovery. They will remember the woman who owned her mistake, apologized professionally, and then gave the best presentation of her life. He stood up and smoothed his tie. You made an error, Maya, a big one. But you used it. You turned it into a strength. That is a very, very rare skill. Don't forget what you learned today. He started to walk out, then turned back. But also, please, for the sake of my heart, check your attachments. Maya smiled, a real, tired smile. I will, sir, I promise. 3 times, every time. She walked out of the conference room and back to her desk. Leo was waiting, pretending to work, but he was watching her. So? He whispered. We got it, Maya said, slumping into her chair. We got the account. Leo threw his hands in the air. Yes, I knew it. You are amazing. No, Maya said, smiling. I'm not amazing. I'm just human. And I'm a human who is, from this day forward, deleting every file with the word silly or joke in the title forever. And that is the end of our story. So, what did we learn? We learned so much. We learned that Maya made a very human, very common, very scary mistake. We learned that her first reaction, her panic thought, was to think, I am a failure. I am fired. This is the end of the world. This was her listening error, where she listened to her fear instead of listening to the facts. But then she got a good teacher. Her boss, Mr. Reed, became her mentor. He did not punish her. He challenged her. He taught her the own, solve, future model. He taught her to stop being a victim of her mistake and to become the owner, the manager of the solution. And this is my final message to you today. Your B1 English mistakes, your grammar errors, your vocabulary mix-ups, your pronunciation problems, they are your silly files. They are your cat CEO moments. They are embarrassing. Your first reaction is to feel panic, to feel shame, to think, I am a failure. I should just stop learning English. I'll never be fluent. But I want you to be your own Mr. Reed. I want you to be your own good boss, your own kind teacher. When you make a mistake, when you hear yourself say, he go to the store, I want you to stop. And I want you to say to yourself, okay, that is a mistake. It is a fact. But I am not a failure. I am a problem solver. What is the solution? The solution is to find the rule. Oh, I need an S. He goes. The future is to practice it. He goes, she goes, it goes. Okay? Got it. Your error is not a wall. It is not a stop sign. It is a door. It is an opportunity. Maya's mistake forced her to be better. It forced her to be more prepared, more focused, and more professional. Her biggest weakness, her biggest error, literally became her biggest strength. The client hired her, not in spite of her mistake. They hired her, in part, because of how she handled it. This is true for you too. People will not judge you for your English mistakes. They will judge you for how you handle them. If you panic and get quiet and hide, the mistake wins. But if you take a breath and you smile and you say, oh, that's not the right word, is it? Let me try that again. Then you win, you show confidence. You show resilience. You show that you are a learner. And people, good people, respect that. They respect that much more than they respect perfection. So, here is your call to action. Here is your homework for today. I want you to go to the comments section of this video And I want you to be brave, like Maya. First, I want you to own one small Maya mistake you made in English recently. Maybe you said boring instead of bored. Maybe you used the wrong preposition. Be brave. Write it down. Second, I want you to use the own, solve, future model. But for learning, I want you to write what you learned from it. What is your solution? What is your future plan? For example, you could write, my mistake, own. I said, I am agree, instead of I agree. My solution, solve. I learned that agree is a verb, not an adjective, so I don't need am. My future, future. I will practice. I agree. I don't agree. And do you agree? By doing this, you are not just sharing a failure. You are sharing a strength. You are practicing. And you are showing everyone here, in our community, that we are not afraid of mistakes. We are data collectors. We are problem solvers. We are together, turning our errors into our strength. One mistake at a time. Thank you so much for listening today. This was a long practice, but it was an important one. I truly hope, that you feel a little stronger, a little braver, and a little bit kinder to yourself and your own learning journey. This is English in Fluency. I am Alex. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Be afraid of not learning from them. Subscribe to our channel. Join our community of brave learners, and let's get fluent together. I will see you in the next lesson.